Here we are with another Saturday Night Live, July 25th, 2020, I think is what it says on the calendar. So we'll go by that. Hello, John, Steve, Tatiana. I'm kind of beat. We've been cutting out a couple of windows in the basement, concrete foundation for the last couple of days.
Oh,
So
you doing it?
yeah, me and a friend of mine, yeah.
Oh, that is a nasty job.
Yeah, it took a lot longer than we thought. Like,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we're going for about 12 hours today, finishing off another 11 hours. So tomorrow I maybe got an hour, just cock it up and I'm done. But man, oh man. Now I know why they wanted $2,300 for one window. The window we got them for cheap, $90 each, and rented a saw, and away you go. But there was the cutting was very slow, very slow.
Freaking dirty, too.
Yeah, it's a water saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get dirty. Better than breathing in the dust with the water. So we had some fun doing that.
Your mask?
No mask.
No mask.
No mask. When it's the dust, I'll wear a mask, but with the water, you still get some stuff. But hey,
Never wear a mask.
yeah, it's it's
In the spring when I'm getting the beds in the greenhouse they're desiccated dry. They're like desert dry. So I start mixing them up and I don't put a mask on. And my God, the shit I blow out after that. It's just because it's dust.
yeah.
And it doesn't absorb water. When it's that dry, it won't absorb. So you got to use hot water to rehydrate the medium.
Really?
What's that, Steve?
Growing media I use in the greenhouse.
What?
Growing media that I use in the greenhouse.
Oh.
Yeah, well, when you're playing in the dirt, you're always going to breathe in. Breathing in dirt, you're doing a little bit here and there. I don't think it's that bad. It's dirt. When it's chemicals,
Oh, God.
When it's chemicals, you got to be careful.
We used to use trichlor. You know what trichlor is?
Trichlor?
Trichloroethylene.
No.
It is one of the most potent solvents that they've ever formulated.
What do they use it for?
We use it as a degreaser.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to tell you the stories of that shit. Surprised we lived, put it that way. That's nasty, nasty stuff.
Well,
And then the stuff they use in painting, TSP,
Yep.
Painting
trisodium.
what?
It's to wash the walls, but it used to be really nasty, and then they made a synthetic version of it that's less nasty, actually.
Oh,
Not a synthetic version, but a more.
To wash the walls for painting.
Yeah, before painting, yeah.
Right. So it sticks.
TSP.
Yeah. Isn't that calcium something?
Trisodium phosphate.
Yeah, trisodium phosphate. And then the stuff like, do you know what zip strip is?
No.
Zip strip is a paint stripper.
Oh.
That stuff is nasty.
Yeah, paint strippers are.
It's like a gel. You brush it on like a gel, and then it coagulates more, and then the paint comes right up with it.
Yeah, I've used enough of that stuff.
I think it might be illegal now.
No, they have them, but they're not like they used to be. They're a little bit less toxic.
Yeah.
They're still toxic. I had to use it for. I had popcorn ceiling, and they do in the subdivisions when they build these homes. It's cheap. It's rough.
Covers up all the bullshit. They don't have to freaking do the joints or anything. They just blow that shit up there.
Right. So I had to scrape it all off. But the problem was, I had painted it with oil years ago.
Oh, God.
2 heavy coats of oil paint, and it wouldn't come off Like everybody says, spray with water. No way. So I had to get that paint stripper and put it on in a way. It wasn't that bad. I had the windows open. Like I said, these paint strippers they do now, they have it at Home Depot. They're not like the old ones I remember using. Those ones there, man. If you didn't do it outside, you'd be high as a kite.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
They built this house in '85. And they got that popcorn shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was repainting the ceilings the only time I did it. And all of a sudden, the whole freaking thing starts peeling back.
Yeah.
And it's just dropping. I mean, that extra coat of paint just was enough weight. Because there was no quality in the '80s down here when they were building houses, let me tell you.
You took it all off after?
I took it all off. All of it.
Yeah, well, there's what they do now is I found that after they have these sanders, these electric sanders with vacuum systems.
Yeah.
They put a coarse paper on it and they just smoothen it out and then fill it. They didn't do what I did. But anyway, you just try to save a few bucks because I don't know what down there, but the trades prices, it's gone crazy. You know,
And anybody who walks through the door down here is at least $100
yeah,
just to get them to come to your house.
yeah. You know, electricians, plumbers, $60 an hour. So it's good businesses to get in if you like that stuff. We always have work.
Oh, yeah.
People are looking for work, but nobody wants to work. You know,
Nobody wants to work.
I've done all kinds of different things. But, you know, my background was machine shop welding. That's you know, my dad had a little machine shop in our garage growing up. He was a machinist, and so that's how I grew up, and that's what I was into mostly. And then, of course, working on automobiles and stuff. But it was sorry.
It's a good trade, machine.
Yeah. That's what you're doing, right? Machine shop. Yeah. You know, very precise and so on and so forth. But you gotta go through some years to learn it. Not anybody's going to be able to do that. It takes a little bit of know-how, right? Especially with some stuff. Now they're using all
experience. You can learn anything. You read the book and listen to a freaking instructor all you want.
Well, now they got the CNCs, right? Everything's CNC. Yeah, I did it. I learned on the old systems by hand. Yeah.
That was manual.
Yeah, I can run a mill pretty well for basic stuff.
Milling machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've worked on lathes, but I haven't used a lathe in a really long time.
Basic.
And I always sucked at welding.
I never learned welding. I never needed it. Never needed to learn. Now I wish I could. I did.
Yeah, it comes in useful. You can lots of stuff you can do. But you know, in our garage we had a little milling machine, a little lathe, surface grinder, welder. What else did we have?
All you need.
Yeah, and you're able to make anything you need.
Pretty much.
Mills for square things, lathes for round. Where you go, make whatever you like. So we had fun.
Now they have.
In a bandsaw, we had a bandsaw.
Yeah. You should see the freaking machines they have now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're incredible. They are incredible. They're not.
They have those water jets that can cut through stainless steel. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, they cut everything with water now. You know, stone.
I have a bottle opener. It's a stainless steel bottle opener that was made by a water jet. It's like a little keychain.
Yeah, everything's very precise now. Computerized.
my buddy at the university, he's the head mechanician in civil engineering. So I have access to a pretty serious shop.
Awesome.
And I drilled a hole through a shark's tooth and made an amulet. It was really cool. Like he helped me do it. It's like a special blade, and bit, and we figured out the bit. We drilled right through a shark's tooth. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 years later, though, it's kind of time to hang it up.
Yeah, man. It's like I can't see
Well, I've
well
been
enough
doing
for
it for a
that.
long, long time now. I started at 18, 61 now. What's that? 40? That's a lot of years.
In your trade at 18?
I started at 18, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Long time. The last 4 years was I was working in a place that built automotive automation machines, and assembly lines where they build certain parts of cars and weld them together and stuff. That was the last 4 years doing that kind of work for me. In the 2000 was early 2000. I finished doing that, and that's it. Never went back. After that, I went into selling the ocean water for almost 15 years and doing many other things. But, with the growing the sprouts and so on and so forth. And yeah, it's always good to learn how to do your own stuff. You save a lot of money.
But yeah,
If you have,
never hire anybody, ever.
yeah, you can do stuff on your own cars. If you need to do stuff in your home, save a lot of money. If you have to pay for everything you have to do, my goodness gracious, like the way I used to do it, instead of paying somebody, buy the tools you need, and then you have them, and you can keep working whenever you have to do it again. So slowly but surely, you have all the tools you need. I got lots of friends in all different trades, and it helps. But master fasting, you got to do it on your own. Nobody can help us.
Maybe fix today.
Hey, Gino, I did 60 hours last weekend, and then I did 2 36-hour this week. So, but I always do the hybrid. So, but I felt great this week. So I did essentially 4 days.
4 days of the hybrid?
I did 60 hours, 2.5 days on hybrid, and then a day, 36-hour, and then another 36-hour. And then today I'm doing another one. So that since I saw you last, this is day 5.
Awesome.
So I'm just doing it as much as I can. I'm getting this, I'm looking forward to it now, Yeah, like I wake up and I'm just looking forward to start.
Yeah, Rana's outside watering the garden. We ran late today. I just finished that just after 6 with the windows. So I had to finish so we don't have critters coming into the house.
Yeah, the raccoons, they'll come in and make themselves at home.
Yeah. I think we got raccoons that come around. We got squirrels. You got insects. You got mice. You got rats. There's everything around. I've seen skunks.
Rabbits in the backyard, chipmunks in the front. You got a snake in the back. I had that snake around here for the last 4 or 5 years.
What kind of snakes?
Just
Garden snake?
maybe he ate a chipmunk, but I haven't seen the chipmunks in a while.
Yeah, there's chipmunks around here rarely. Mostly a lot of squirrels. We feed them some nuts. They come to your door and they come take them out of your hand when they get used to you. They're
They dig in my beds all the time.
they dig the what? Sorry.
Right in the growing beds. They just dig. They want to bury their freaking nuts,
Yeah, yeah,
and they want to dig them up.
yeah. So
Tried
yeah,
grabbing them one time. But have a heart. I wasn't killing them. I wasn't trying to kill them. So I set the trap out, and you put a little piece of bread with peanut butter on it. I love the peanut butter.
oh yeah.
And the freaking thing set off and it's closed, and there's nothing in there. This went on for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 days. Finally, one day I got it, but it was birds. I got 2 birds. The freaking birds were coming in, and they're not heavy enough to set it off. I did get them though, and I relocated them.
They come back.
No, I brought them over to the big garden. Let them go over there. There's a lot more wooded area there.
Yeah, once they get used to the humans, they don't want to leave. If they're feeding them anyway. A lot of people don't like animals, man. Don't treat them well. So Tatiana, how you doing? You listening in?
Some challenges this week.
If you're ready, we're all ears. Oh, my body needs a rest.
We ain't no spring chickens anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's if you when you're doing it regularly, it's okay. But when you're not doing it, and then you start doing this kind of work, my God, for the first few days, a week, you'll feel it. But,
I started with another woman 3 weeks ago with a different modality.
for yoga,
Rolfing. You ever hear of Rolfing? Rolfing?
Ralphing,
Yeah, it's deep tissue massage.
Oh, it's freaking deep isn't the word.
There's the Chinese equivalent is called Tuai Na, and it's like brutal. It's brutal.
It's a 10-week protocol. The first 3 weeks are just a surface. I completed the 3rd session this past week.
Yeah, that stuff is brutal.
What a difference. Unbelievable difference. My body is so locked up. It's all the fashion.
Yeah, well, as you continue fasting, it will break it all down. The massage will assist you.
Oh, this is,
Yeah.
the benefits are immediate.
Does it hurt?
The next 4 are supposed to be the deep ones. It's freaking, I'll tell you what, it's intense.
It hurts.
It hurts. There's pain involved. But as soon as she lets go, the pain is gone.
Yeah.
But oh yeah.
And then you want to just go home and go to sleep when it's over.
No.
No.
I've been fasting every time I've gone. I've been fasting state.
Oh yeah, when you're fasting, there's no problem. You can handle way more pain, especially a dry fast.
The 4th session is the 3rd, which is the full moon. So I'll be in a dry fast. That'll be pretty interesting.
Well, last time I went for a massage, I was dry fasting, and she's going, go harder. Harder? Yeah. No, go harder. She couldn't believe. She goes, I can't do this to anybody. They'll be screaming. It's interesting. Yeah, when you when you eat inflammatory foods, man, you won't be able to handle a deep massage. It'll hurt.
It isn't even really, it's not really a massage.
Yeah.
It's not a massage.
Yeah,
It's
They're going deep.
it's an opening up of everything is what it is.
And
It's hard to explain. Like,
I know.
like she had me here, and I mean, whatever the hell she was doing here, I had my arm up there, whatever she was grabbing, that freaking hurt like hell. But when she was done, the range of motion was probably 30% more. As soon as she let go, the pain's gone, and the range of motion, because she released it. Everything is just stuck in place.
Yeah, they also do massage on the gums.
Well, I haven't gotten that.
Yeah.
you know, you can like right behind your collarbone, if you put your fingers down there and like fish around a little bit, it's like rock hard little tendons they feel like bones, but they're like super rock hard. Just down underneath your collarbone. I've had people put me in tears. I mean, I was howling on a table with a Chinese doctor who was a total genius, and I was howling, cursing, crying, making animal sounds that like I didn't even know I was capable of some of the sounds I was making. And then when I would go home from him and just go right to bed. You know?
I haven't been tired. I have not experienced it. I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, but if you're doing it fasting and eating, it's two different experiences. Two different experiences completely. So next time, John, go on a dry fasting.
Yeah, well, this guy's gone. He actually got deported. He had like visa trouble, and he was like an absolute genius.
And show you how many different modalities there are out there to assist the body.
Yeah.
You know?
There's, you ever heard of Thai yoga massage?
Yeah. Thai massage.
Yeah. I had a friend.
Yeah.
He moved out away in another town, but he was really good. He was. I was working with him for a while, and he was helping me open up quite a bit with Thai yoga. It's basically they're helping you do movements and go further in those movements, and opening up joints like you did with your arm, Steve, something like that, and then you end up getting more motion.
Mm-hmm.
Then they work on your weak spots and so on and so forth. So Thai yoga, if there's anybody in your area, you can give that a try as well. Ralphine, there's many.
She ain't cheap. She is not cheap. I'll tell you.
Yeah, what is it, 120?
Yeah.
150? Wow. Yeah, they charge.
It's well worth the money, I'll tell you.
The Thai yoga, Thai massage. I've never heard of Thai yoga, but I know Thai massage, the way it's designed is also for the practitioner. So like when the practitioner's working on you, they get benefit too, and it's really relaxing for them.
Yeah,
And then there's another system called Brima that's the same way. Brima bodywork, where it's like designed for the practitioner. It's like symbiotic.
That would be a much better system to use for the practitioner, because practitioners take on a lot of the energies.
Yeah.
If you look at what we
go into a fast year, and if you go into these things in a fasting state, the energies, it's through the roof. You feel it. You feed off. Feed right off.
if we look at practitioners in general, like an alternative health, they call alternative, and so on and so forth, and naturopaths and this and that, we see a lot of worn out people in those positions, and it's because taking in all that energy from the people.
Yeah.
It's if you don't learn how to redirect it and you know clap it,
Yeah.
you take it all on and it just drains you. And it's not easy all the time because um, when people are doing it as a business and so on and so forth, there's a lot of stuff going on in their head, and so it's tough. It's I've 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 seen a lot of people go downhill quick in these
I
kind of.
think it's a certain talent. Like some people just have a knack for being able to redirect the energy, and it doesn't seem to phase them as much.
Yeah.
And others, like they just look
I think
wiped out
if they're true healers, they have that
yeah,
capacity.
yeah. A true healer knows
Woman
what to
that I
do.
that crossed paths with that does the colonics. I mean, that's my first impression that she was a healer, and it's health. Nothing nothing changed my point of view about that.
Well, it's like what Professor Eric says. There are these. He calls them. What does he call them? Physical. I don't know, like physical accoutrements. You can do all that stuff, but if you're not fasting, it's only going to go so far. That's essentially what he says.
Yep.
I love how he's always talking about like doing the knee bending exercise. He's like, I did 400 knee bending exercises.
After he broke his fast, it's great
Yeah.
with grape juice.
That was a long
Yeah.
fast, right? I remember right. That was a very long fast. 50, 60 days he was doing something.
Yeah, he did. I think he did 52. I think he did 52 days.
Yeah.
That was documented.
Yeah.
I just love those books. They're so like he has such a power the way he writes. But some of those books are translated, but I think some of them he wrote in English. You know?
Well, he was
I
in
just love
California when he died, right? He was in California.
San Francisco, I think.
yeah, or LA. Yeah,
Yeah.
So was he
Yeah,
doing?
that's California.
Was he teaching in English down there, or was he teaching?
probably.
I don't know.
I mean,
If which books were written in English.
I don't know. I just have a sense that like some of that stuff that he wrote it in English, and then the rational fasting book is translated, and the name of it is like Kraken Mensch Kraken or something like that. And I have it, by the way. If anybody wants the rational fasting, I can share it on Google Docs.
I am all.
Sure, you guys have it.
Yeah, I have the
I
hard
am all.
soft covers and the
He
PDF.
actually read pretty quick. Quick reads.
Quick reads, yeah.
But then you got to go back and say, what the hell did I just read?
You got to read them.
What does that mean?
Read them when you're fasting. You'll read much quicker and comprehend more. That's what I found when you're eating.
Well, I started Monday, and I was in such a freaking cloudy state for the last prior 2 weeks. Today's day 6. It's taken good 4 days to just recenter. So all that bullshit that's going on out there, it's finally out.
Gino, do you stay in contact with Ellie Tome on a regular?
Every once in a while, not often. I think he's still in India now.
Yeah, that guy gets around.
Yeah, no. He's on a mission.
It's it's interesting because in your interview with him, he was super bubbly and he had all this like really um, exuberant kind of energy and comical. And then, but I've also seen videos where he's very somber and kind of in the background, and he changes. He has like a couple of different demeanors that I've seen on video. But what any other personalities like that that you've met,
in breatharian kind of thing.
or anything that like made an impression on you or that inspired you or anything like that?
Well, lots of people throughout the years. Um, Norman Walker, who lived, some say 109, some say 112. I don't know what the actual age is, but he was big on juicing and enemas. So he was, he's I can't remember the name of his book. I think he has a few books. I had one or two of them. Basics, if you don't feel well, give yourself an enema. Basic stuff. Simple. Like if you look at, you know, people in raw food, veganism and stuff, you don't see a lot of longevity. And, you know, one of the main reasons is, people go into these diets mostly after they have big challenges with their health. And then, they're trying to fix it with diet, right? Diet, it's not the way. You can only go so far. So that's why we see that happening. And today, humanity is way more plugged up than even 20, 30 years ago. Can you imagine? And Arnold Ehrenstein, he was talking about how people were, uh, uh,
Well, half the
dumping.
there was an interesting statistic that came out with this COVID bullshit. That half the food that was sold in this country was sold at restaurants. So people
Sold what?
eating half of the food that was sold on a weekly basis was consumed in restaurants.
Oh, wow.
Fast food or something. I mean, it was a huge amount. Like, holy shit, nobody was preparing food at home anymore. That's why there's shortages of everything. There were shortages. Everybody started buying freezers, canning equipment. They're like, you can't find this shit no more. I can a lot of stuff, right? So I saw it coming. I stocked up on jars. It's so difficult to find jars right now at a reasonable cost. You could find them, but the cost is exorbitant. Yeah, there was a half, at least.
Yeah,
So in restaurants and fast food.
everybody goes out to eat.
I mean, restaurants are a step up from fast food, but not all that much.
Exactly. Like, there's the restaurants. If you eat in restaurants regularly, your health is going to pay for it. I don't care.
Nasty.
Oil, salt. That's what gives everything taste. You may go to some raw food restaurant here and there, but you know what they use? Nuts and seeds.
Yep. We got one here in town.
And,
Actually, that makes some pretty good stuff, but it's
and oils as well. So the only thing, if you're gonna order anything, would be fruit. What do you need to go to a restaurant for? To make a smoothie.
I haven't been in a restaurant in, I don't know, a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's also timing and the way people eat now. Like there's no structure. Like my grandmother died when she was 96, and she would always eat at the same time. She was a small eater. She never mixed up her food. She always separated her courses on the plate. Like she didn't like to mix up her food. And like people used to sit down and have dinner, but that's just like so rare now, you know. It There's no regularity. I mean, I haven't eaten regularly, my whole life pretty much. Maybe when I lived in Japan, I was kind of on a regular basis, you know. But there is a lot of value to that, like eating at the same time of the day. Your body, I think there is anyway. If you're going to eat, I'm just talking about sad diet or like 3 squares,
I don't know. If people are eating regularly, does it make a difference? For some people, their system will be thrown off if they change times all the time. If they keep it at a consistent time, I guess it would assist them to some degree. But ultimately, it's best to eat when you're hungry. Don't eat, skip meals, no big deal. And focus on that. But when we grew up, we had to be at the dinner table together. That's the way it was. These days, you don't see a lot of that, man. Nope. Very rare. And then even if people prepare meals at home, everybody's on different times. So the meal is made, one guy eats, and somebody else comes, the other guy eats, and you know what I mean. So
yeah, that's what I meant. It's just like,
yeah. So the family unit was attacked. Let's put it that way, and they succeeded in that. That's what keeps everything together. When you can build a foundation at home, the society works better. When you disrupt a family life, and you have what we have now, right? That's the way I see it. They've attacked the family unit. It all started with women's lib. That was all by design. Had nothing to do with women's equal thing. It was all by design.
Zero.
To get the women to work and pay taxes.
Exactly what it was.
50% of the population weren't paying taxes. How brilliant was that? Women were at home, right? Homemakers. So they wanted to work, and that's what they got. It was all by design, deception. But there's some good that came out of it, but overall, it attacked the family life, and it would be nice if people can put more emphasis on that. At least having one meal together once, twice, 3 times a week, whatever. If it can't be every single day, and families shoot the shit together and learn about what's going on and so on and so forth. It's create bondage. It's a big thing missing in our lives. So when we're fasting, we're never going to be on the dinner table.
yeah, like you fantasize about having normal dinners, or I'm also very Italian. I have a lot of Italian blood and Sicilian, and like I have this fantasy of just eating normal sad Italian diet, where it's like just like pasta and bread and red wine, and being with a family, like with that, like a minimum of like 8 people or 12 people. It's like such a fantasy. And like I can't even imagine a scenario where like suddenly I would be living that way, you know.
Which side's Italian? Your mother?
Both sides. My mother's mother is Sicilian, and my dad has Italian on both of his parents. Um, my middle name's Varelli, and my Sicilian grandmother's name is Bagnetto. And I was really delighted to find out that my maternal grandmother was Sicilian, because I always felt Italian. I grew up in New Jersey, and I just kind of always felt Italian, you know.
A lot of Italians in New Jersey?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's the mafia.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of pizza parlors. Yeah, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, the tri-state area. It's a lot of Italians.
Get up into Boston, it turns Irish.
Yeah, and the Boston too has a really good Italian.
Yeah, but I mean, the
Sector.
mafia goes to the Irish.
Man, North End in Boston for Italian food. It's like straight out mafia. It's like the limousines are there, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. I went to Sicily once, and we went. Where did we go? We went on the. I think it was over on the west coast. Starts with a P. I can't remember the name. Beautiful.
You mean like where the volcano is? No,
Well,
that's on the east. That's on the east side. Sorry, Vesuvio.
2 weeks.
yeah, it was. Oh, it's beautiful. There's some Greek ruins in the area we went. So
Yeah,
Sicily, like the Sicilian dialect, I can barely understand it. It's so different. If you go from Sicily, you go all the way up to the north. The north is like German, and the south has got a mixture. Like Sicilian's got Greeks and Arabic mixed in, and all kinds of stuff, language. So it's pretty interesting, all the different dialects when you go through. But yeah, Sicily's beautiful. Oh man, we were we got some excellent grapes, man. They were just red and the black ones, and then we found some sun dried olives, which are my favorite.
mm,
Oh, the flavor of
that's
those.
crazy good.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Love olives.
oh yeah, you got to be an olive lover. People either love them or they hate them.
Mhm.
So I love olives. It's just you got to be careful because they're a little bit fatty, but not too high fat, about 20%. A little bit of olives here and there is no big deal.
Sparingly now, for sure.
So yeah, we gotta have some fun when we're choosing to eat. Choose some good stuff and enjoy it. Enjoy it fully. All is well. And there's people walking on the street with their masks on. Yeah,
Yeah, well, get used to it.
Yeah,
no.
it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, like I've never been to Italy. I've been to Europe, but one of my dreams is when I do go to Italy, which is going to be soon, as soon as this thing blows over, then I will also want to go to Croatia and the Dalmatian Army, Salvation Army, the Dalmatian Islands in Croatia. I heard that it's just like a raw food paradise. Like you can just go and live on these deserted islands and like eat figs and all kinds of fruit. And I don't know, I'm sure they have olives there, but I just heard like you get a sailboat and then you go from island to island and like you live on figs. That's one of my dreams.
Not a bad thing to live on.
Yeah, nothing like a fig off a tree or any fruit.
Oh,
Off a tree.
Black mission figs. It's like one of my favorites.
Warmed up by the sun, they got that honey dripping off them. Just awesome. You don't
Awesome.
find that in the stores.
Just gorge yourself with them.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Tatiana, what's happening?
Hey, we were speaking about you were speaking about meals. And I wanted to say my brother is living with me right now, and he's eating, and I'm fasting. But I always sit with him
Oh,
and
yeah.
have a conversation. I think he felt weird at first, but I mean, I always eat little, or like I always was kind of. But it's nice to share that company. I tell him it's okay. You know, I feed off the field.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, people.
sit outside. It's have the conversation. I make this time. So
people
even when we're fasting, we can enjoy that time with them.
yeah, I noticed, in all these years, people feel awkward when you're not eating and they're eating.
I
More,
think they get used to it.
yeah.
It's okay. Because who's like when you're at at a celebration or something, no one's really looking at your plate. They're looking at their plate, and then they're in the conversation. Like it doesn't. You have something on your plate, or you don't. It doesn't matter. You're there to connect, right?
Right.
Or we can shift the focus there, right?
Exactly.
You can also just pretend to eat and not really eat at all. Just like push food around on your plate.
I feel like that's wasteful, but sometimes you might need to do that.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah. You just say I'm not hungry, and people understand. So, but I really wanted to share, Gino. I'm witnessing my first miracle, and
Let us hear.
I'm speechless. I'm having the affection, whatever you want to call it. Just mucus coming out of my throat. It's all coming from here. Spitting out like big chunks. And I told you my tongue was inflamed. Tongue is inflamed and kind of feels sore. So I'm doing the teas. And yeah, as it's coming out, like these past 2 days, I haven't been able to breathe like this since I was a child. I had like many years ago, I had a sinus infection. I felt like it never cleared, and it was just like whenever I had a cold, it would like take forever my cold to go away, like that nose up there. And I even I like to sleep without a pillow. I don't know, I'm small, I don't really need a pillow. But I couldn't even recently because like putting my head down like that, all that mucus would just back up, and I couldn't breathe. And now I can put it down. I walked out in the morning, and now these past few months I'm doing yoga outside in the mornings. And in the morning you can smell everything even so much better. And I haven't smelled like this since, I don't know, I can't remember. I just like I cried how beautiful it is. And all we had to do was stop destroying. We didn't have, we just like watching creation happen is the most beautiful thing. It's actually beyond words. I feel like I'm ruining it with words. And I'm so grateful. My heart is just like overflowing with gratefulness for you and Rana and the system, and for sharing it. It's I can imagine how difficult it was to share, and you made it such a big step to come out and share it with us.
Yeah, it's it is because we as humans we will lie to ourselves, and most people will not make that commitment as a lifestyle journey. They just won't. A lot of people will jump in and make an event out of it. We've seen that, but to make it as a lifestyle, not going to happen very often. And the few people that do, it's just amazing. But the mucus, that's going to keep draining. It goes in layers. When you were growing up, when you had you were ill and stuff. Did you suppress it with drugs?
Yeah, they gave me antibiotics.
Yeah.
This was like maybe 8 years ago or something. Yeah, I guess it got really bad. Like it showed up black on the X-ray, and I was actually in Belarus, and yeah, they gave me antibiotics like right into my blood. They gave me a needle like every day I went to the hospital.
Yeah. So when you suppress it like that,
Yeah.
it's a little more challenging to get it out, but it's going to come out. It's just a matter of time. If you continue the fasting lifestyle, it's going to come out. I've shared, it took me, it was about 5 years before I had my major lung detox. When I was 15, and then again at 17, I had bronchitis. That was from all the milk I drank. I used to drink liters. So and that stuff all had to come out, and the bronchitis. When I go in my memory and was experiencing that, I remember the tons of mucus the body was trying to pump out, and then here they're suppressing me with drugs. So that stuff just got all locked up, and then I got it again when I was 17. And my lungs, they've always felt kind of strange, couldn't breathe properly. And after I had that lung detox, which lasted about 5 weeks of coughing for over an hour every night in the middle of the night, it was very painful too. And just releasing crazy amounts of mucus. Crazy. Like, can't even imagine. I couldn't use Kleenexes anymore. I had to put a little bucket, cough into it, and it was just insane.
Now every time I'm going hallelujah.
Yeah. So mucus stuff it's deep. It's very deep in layers. Yeah. Just as we continue to fast, it comes out. But what we've seen in master fasting is people are releasing at a much quicker rate than they would all the other types of fasting people have done. So that's a good thing. How long will it take? I don't know, but who cares? We just continue doing it. But it's
just enjoy the process.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like when you experience senses that have awakened, like your sense of smell that you said, and so on and so forth. It's like, man, oh man, is this what it's supposed to be like?
Yeah.
And better.
Yeah.
Better. So just embrace, continue. You're still fasting?
Yeah. So I decided that I was going to break it at around 40. But since this is happening, I think I'll just wait till it kind of settles. Yeah. Although maybe it won't settle. Now I've opened the gates.
Well, the thing about the long fast, doing a long MFS, staying on level 7 for extended period of time, like we were doing, suggesting at the beginning, 108 days and so on and so forth. It's I'm okay with that. It's just people are not ready for it. They're just not. That's what they've shown us. People have shown us they're not ready for that. So if somebody saying they're ready, it doesn't mean much. We'll see what happens after the 108 days. That's so having to deal with people cursing and this and that and not taking responsibility. What do I need to listen to that for? But when somebody has the full comprehension and full understanding, they've done their homework thoroughly, they know they're going to go through many challenges. I'm for the long ones, yeah, but it's. I think it's best for people to take some time, living and loving it, one of the levels for 6 months, a year at least, before attempting to do a long one. But if you jumped in a long one, make sure you're going to be in one of the levels, and not a low level after you've done 40 days or something. You got to be at least level 3, 4, at least.
That's where I was. I felt good then.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's you know,
Or I was 4 to 5.
yeah, too much food, you got to increase it to another level up, because food is not going to feel pleasant after, you know, clearing out that GI tract, because
I bet, yeah.
your plasma vacuum tubes works much better on fields than it does on matter. So everybody's going to have to, you know, choose their own lifestyle, but it's the miracles when you really, you know, dig deep. It's like a walk in the park. They happen all the time.
Observing them is the most beautiful thing. It's hi Rana.
How are you?
So, Tatiana, what day are you on?
Like 44.
44.
I wasn't planning to do like a marathon go long. I was planning to do 40, like I said, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for at least for like the tongue inflammation to go away, I would like.
Well, you know, the tongue is a reflection of the GI tract, right? So if
Yep.
you get inflammation there, the reason you're getting inflammation, why? When you're on a fasting state, the weaknesses come to the surface. So
Yeah.
you're seeing something's being worked on in the GI tract, and you're feeling it in the tongue. That's why I said you got some instructions trying to move out. And yeah, you know, I would stay on the fast since you're at that point. But be very, very prepared. You know, when you decide to break it, just be very prepared, because the emotions go cuckoo on some people when they start eating, and you have to be ready for that. You have to, you know, stay connected with us no matter what. You know, fall off here and there. You got to stay connected.
Yeah.
Because if you start running away, you're going to
Yeah.
allow that monkey mind to take over. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah, most people are more connected when they are fasting than when they're eating.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But the truth is, you know, you want to be more connected when you're eating than when you're fasting, because fasting is easier than eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, fasting is more straightforward than eating. Eating is more tricky.
Yeah.
But it's a lifestyle, so always be connected, fasting or eating. It's good.
Yeah, I love to do.
When you're bringing up mucus, whatever you do, don't swallow it. Hack it out. You know, you got to do it from the belly. You got to go like that. You don't go, you know, you have to, and that way there, it helps release the mucus.
That's good. That's great tip.
When you feel it loosening up, it's you have to learn how to do it, but it's not hard. It comes from the belly. You know what I mean? And you'll bring it up. No, never swallow it, because then your body's got to reprocess all that mucus again.
It goes through the GI
Yeah,
tract.
okay, that's where it was. You want to get it out.
No, it would be for me. Usually, it's in the throat. I feel, and it comes out, and I just clear my throat, and it goes down. I don't spit it out, but I mean,
The body is
So
trying to.
ladylike.
huh?
So ladylike.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we clear our throat, usually we don't spit it out, but some people spit it out.
I have to spit it out. I can't swallow.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't mind.
The body's loosening up. There's a way out. Get it out. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Get it out. Better. Don't be shy. Body fluids and stuff like that. Some people freak out on that stuff. Doesn't bother me at all. Get it out. Assist the body in what it's trying to do. That's all we're doing. Assisting. That's all we can do. And you know, hark it all out as much you can. Like guys, I'm just thinking back on the stuff that came out of me. Goodness gracious. It's just like, wow. You know, every single cell in this physical body has obstructions lodged in it. Every single cell. So that's what we have to clean out. And then they have mental and emotional blockages, obstructions attached to it.
Yeah, when we're blocked, I totally believe that we are blocked from head to toe, you know. It's not going to be like some cells are more blocked than well, sure. I guess I guess that's where our challenges are. Some, but it's going to be the whole body affected from head to toe for sure, to various degrees.
It starts purging from head to toe, every sense. The body will start releasing from all over, and you will see the areas that are blocked. You will feel movement of stiffness and pain.
Mucus.
That's the body doing work in those areas. Cramps and so on and so forth. And it's just amazing. We don't have to know anything. It does it all on its own.
It's absurd. It's so humbling. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like all that research and studying and so on and so forth from before about your body's lacking this, that, and the other thing. Like honestly, when I try to think about that stuff, it kind of makes me dizzy. It's like there's a blockage. My memory doesn't want to access that stuff anymore. Like in regards to my mother, I'm going to a friend's nutritionist and stuff because I can't think in that sense anymore. It's just I'm blocked from it. My soul doesn't want me to go there anymore. It's in full force in the subtraction mode. Going back to addition, some people you're going to have to work with that, and there's people out there who do that, right? Because they're not going to fast. So work with the addition, work with deficiencies and so on and so forth. Nutrition. That's what we tell you. If you're not going to fast, there's not many more options for you. Fasting is the gateway to access your blueprint, man. You don't need to know anything. And it's beautiful. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Like we know, deficiencies happen when we are obstructed, right?
Yeah.
And if let's say some people cannot see themselves de-obstructing, then the way to help the deficiency, I guess, is by addition, because there's no other way.
Yeah, body's anemic, can't absorb iron. We've seen
they take iron, they feel better, but and again, they didn't go for the cause, right?
We've seen people turn that around.
Oh yeah,
through fasting.
100%. Obstructions are, in my opinion, the cause of deficiency for sure. Once the body is de-obstructed, it's going to be, I believe, more and more self-sufficient, and we see that all the time.
That's awesome news, Tatiana. It's awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you. I had that too, the iron deficiency thing, and I was searching and for like information, but I knew in my heart it wasn't about taking something every day of my life.
Like, something wrong with that concept, right?
Yeah. The food supply doesn't have the nutrition it had from 50 years ago, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So you have to take this powder, or you have to take that thing, or, you have to...
Then we make it more of balance.
Sorry?
We make it more of balance in this way. Then we throw off something else.
Yeah.
I wanted to share something that I just started to do too the last 2 days. So I'm doing, it's the back of the tongue that is having that reaction, like boils or whatever. So I guess it's kidneys by Chinese meridian. I've been doing the the castor oil pack. I started doing that.
Where do you put it?
You put it on your stomach, right?
Yeah, anywhere.
Like, well, I know where the kidney, but I don't know if it's like you put the back, because kidneys are also
the kidneys on the back,
somewhere in the middle.
You're closer to the back.
You put it on your back?
Yeah, on the back of the kidney.
Mm.
So you sleep on the hot water bottle. Okay, it's gonna be interesting. Okay, thank
you. But you can You need to do it for minimum 1 hour if you don't want to sleep with it.
Hmm.
Put it on all night.
Yeah.
You can do that too. Yeah. So by sleeping on it, it stays warm most of the night.
Yeah.
Once it gets
I'll try. Thank you.
a little bit cool, it'll probably wake you up and you'll toss it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kidneys are no fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Little organs.
Oh, they doubled me over physically last year.
They take a while.
Many times.
Yeah. And you got to continuously nurturing them.
Yep.
Continuously nurturing them. Like I said, I had,
I tell them thank you.
yeah, those decades, of kidney
Abuse.
challenges, man. It wasn't
Abuse,
fun.
yeah.
So, you got to take care of them. You got to nurture them. If you have mucus like that, guess what? Your kidneys, they have mucus, right? Yeah, every single organ, right?
Yeah.
So, fasting will get it out.
Yeah, especially the waste elimination organs.
Anything in the head, transverse colon is the area. If you look at, there's the chart for the colon and it has all the different organs and stuff. Colon therapists usually have these, but you can find them. And you can see the areas also on there, same as the tongue and the ear and the hands and the feet.
Like reflexology.
So yeah, you can see all the points, the teeth.
That's very interesting.
The eyes, right? The eyes, you can see everything.
Oh yeah.
Human body.
And yeah, there are so many things also that we don't know. I mean, not everything has been observed and kind of, these are observations, right? The iridology, people see the mark in the eye and they say, okay, it reflects that organ. And I guess they make studies like that and that's how they figure it out. But there are so many things that I'm sure haven't been studied, I mean, I'm sure it's countless. One thing is spots on our skin. I think that's very interesting. Spots on the skin, like any kinds of spots. Well, it depends. There are the dark brown. There is the red ones. The red ones actually are, for me, when I see them, I usually see them in people who have cancer. So I think it's advanced.
Yeah.
It's advanced. When people have red spots,
the body's really plugged up.
It's very interesting. Yeah, that's usually
they're little tiny red dots.
I've seen them in people who have cancer, and so on some people who were not diagnosed. But what is cancer? Cancer doesn't happen overnight, right? So maybe beginning of something. I used to have a few of them long time ago before Master Class. I used to have a few here. Maybe I had cancer and it's gone. It's really interesting, to observe all these, and sometimes the moles, right, or whatever, the browner
skin tags, and stuff.
The skin tags, and they come off. I am very sure they reflect a certain area in the body, or at least if not a certain area, they reflect something.
I had a few fall off skin tags. I still have some small ones on this side, but that's after the high fat. These ones popped up. I never had these. Yeah. So I got more work to do.
It's like you get tumors that like obstructive foods,
Yeah. People arguing about these keto diets, man. Go ahead, eat your keto diet.
Yeah,
I'm not here to argue about diets, but I know what the fats do to your body, and it's just a matter of time. So they're not anything beneficial. From what I see, from my experience.
Observations will tell you that.
It's very interesting. Like you have maybe 50% of the society believes in keto.
What is keto? High fat?
High fat.
Oh yeah, high fat, high protein, very low sugar, almost no sugar. Like chicken wings would be ideal. Ideal food. Chicken wings.
With butter.
Oh yeah.
And just oil, like the specific kind of oil. I'm not sure what they do with it.
Yeah, all kinds of oil. Coconut, avocado, olive. They use all those animal fats. If you're not vegan.
The fatty organs in the animals.
Yeah. Lard.
That one.
like yeah, like they say that's better than the oil, so that's healthier. But I don't know, you know.
Hey,
Just observe what oil does for other things, like externally.
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah. I remember, you know, when I was reading that post about Gino posted where keto diet came into, you know, uh, Gino was basically saying that, you know, the arteries get clogged up on a keto diet.
no, that's what I was gonna say.
But
That's
that's,
what the post says. I just
I mean,
wanted.
that's the
I just
focus.
posted to show the different levels of obstruction in the arteries. I don't care what the names on there
Yeah,
say.
yeah, but the focus was the keto,
No,
right? Isn't that why you posted it?
no.
Because it's
But
not.
that was one of them. That was one of them.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
really an
just one.
accurate, definitely not a good post. Other than the keto, I like I like that, but I didn't like the vegan and the vegetarian because they don't mean anything.
I just posted for the pictures.
Yeah, they don't mean anything. Vegan and vegetarian, we all know,
You know, started a storm, and he just like kind of liked the pictures.
can be absolute crap, and it can
Obstructive diet to less obstructive. That's all that's showing. That's the way I look at it. So
yeah, but vegan can be French fries and
yeah, of course, that's
you
why.
know, like that can be very obstructive. So it's
French
not really
fries and
accurate.
beer.
Oreos.
That's not very accurate, you know, because I would say the point is more the fat and the protein, you know, that's what is very obstructive here. More than even, in my opinion, more than the grains and the legumes. Um, Unless you're eating the grains and the legumes with fat and protein, then yeah, you're gonna be paying prices here. Um, but if it's just grain, like if it's just quinoa, I don't think it's that harmful. Yeah, you're gonna feel it, but it's not gonna be that bad. But if you eat chicken wings, you're gonna like feel horrific. I mean, I feel dirty honestly when I eat even dirty like vegan food that is like has, let's say, a pizza, okay, a vegan pizza, okay, without cheese, without vegan cheese, just vegan pizza. Of course, there's oil in it with the tomato sauce. I feel dirty. I start sweating. I mean, this is that when I say dirty, I don't mean to discriminate
Wheat.
or judge people or judge. I'd say I feel dirty because I sweat more. Like I sweat while I'm eating it. This is how fast my body wants it out. It just, and I feel like, you know, you feel obstructed from head to toe, right? Right, like right as you're eating it.
Yeah.
And so
Steak, eggs, beans, butter, and some bread. Beautiful.
Even avocados, I started feeling on, and I was on my levels. What, like the third month?
Avocado?
Yeah, I started feeling it. I used to, I mean, it was totally like normal food for me. I didn't like overeat or anything, but maybe I'd have it like once a week sometimes. But yeah, but now I started feeling the congestion the next morning after eating it.
Wait
Yeah.
if you try it after you break your fast, you try avocado.
No way. No.
Feel it immediately.
Yeah. Even when I was on the levels, I like, I mean, it's nice, but it wasn't worth it going through that, you know, the next morning.
I love the taste.
I didn't want it anymore, but
I love them, but you know, last one I don't remember. It's been a long time. Like every once in a while, I'll have a small piece of it, just because. But it's very hard on my body.
you make it up with the durian.
Durian's
durian's good. Yeah.
He eats durian. He eats durian.
Durian's 30%.
Yeah.
Avocado 70. Big difference.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
difference.
Yeah.
My body can't handle the high fat anymore.
Yeah, the avocado is pretty.
I see it now. Yeah.
Nuts and seeds are, I would say, are much more obstructive even than the fruits, than the avocado. Nuts and seeds.
Yeah, it depends what seeds. Like hemp seeds are pretty easy. I can handle hemp seeds a little bit. Sunflowers and pumpkin.
Still, yeah, sunflower and pumpkin.
You can't do too much of them, like a tablespoon worth, you know, or something like that. And chew them really well. But I used to make almond and sauerkraut cheese. You blend them up together. You soak the almonds, and then I would peel the almonds, take the skin off, because it comes nicer.
Mhm.
And then you would blend them together, about half and half with sauerkraut. And then
Salty, right? There was salt.
yeah, and
That
then
was the key to diet.
and then I would leave it on the counter overnight, and man, everybody would be freaking licking their fingers. So addictive.
The fat and the salt.
The flavor is
Perfect.
it's an amazing flavor, but it's so addictive, and you can overeat this because it tastes so good.
And it's
So-
not filling like a fruit, you know?
What I used to use, I used to make a lot of wraps, with the nori sheets.
Right.
I used to put my sprouts, tomatoes, maybe some cucumbers, and then put a layer of this cheese.
Sounds good.
And people would freak on this
Without
stuff.
cheese.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure. That's like gourmet vegan, raw vegan.
Like it was
High-fat.
interesting. It was kind of an accident the way I discovered making this thing. You can also do with pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, same one. They're all good. If you want to make these, make sure you make it when you're having a party so it's finished and you don't have it at home for yourself. You're gonna eat it, you're gonna pay for it. It's like if you have a small amount, layer in a wrap or something a couple of times, a few times a year.
You put tahini in it.
Oh yeah, tahini was like
Tahini,
my
yeah.
favorite, but
Yeah, I still love
Tahini's made with
Sesame.
an oil, isn't it? Just sesame?
just sesame blend.
The oil.
Sesame, oh yeah, it's very oily.
I feel like some companies can mix oils in there. We don't know.
Yeah,
It's just the original
it's cheap.
sesame seed and blended.
Yeah, well, the seeds are full of oil. Yeah.
It's I mean it's very thick. It's like
Yeah.
peanut butter. You don't
Yeah.
put on, right?
Yeah, with all the fats, they're very addictive. Very, very addictive.
Yeah. But I have a question for you. Why do you think people crave salt so much? I mean, I know it's like once you're starting to have it, you need it. Food doesn't taste good without it.
It's addictive.
But initially, like my thinking was before was, is it some, are we craving something in seaweed or whatever? But now my understanding is shifting. But I'm just wondering why people have that impulse, even if they are not used initially. Why they have that impulse initially? Why is it?
Fasting, you mean when you start fasting, you start craving it?
No.
No, I don't. I mean,
Generally.
sorry?
Generally?
Yeah. If you don't eat it and then you eat it, yeah, it's addictive. It's
Yeah, it's like an addictive thing. I mean, now I'm fine. I haven't used it in years, really. Like, I would just have seaweed. And sometimes
Celery,
Do you have
seaweed,
like the
tomatoes.
powdered seaweeds?
yeah, and dried. And so the dried, sometimes I wash, like if it's not too salty, I just maybe rinse it lightly and have it. But I was wondering what humans in general, why the salt is so attractive to us. Like it was exploited. It was like, they refined it and made it into this like refined salt.
Yeah. We have
I was
everything.
big in salt. I had salts. I was getting them from all over the world, trying different salts.
Yeah, it's a big market.
Somebody-
You get minerals from your salt, right?
I had somebody hand pick it from the Hawaii, it was on like a cliff kind of thing where the water splashed, and then the sun would dry it. And she hand picked it for me and sent it to me.
Wow.
We'll have a little bit.
You've been through it all.
It's
No,
so
habits and it's precious.
yeah, we use very just once in a while. It's a very nice flavor.
Yeah.
It's but I've had some pink salt from where was it? I can't remember now. It wasn't from Himalayan mountains. It was from somewhere.
That's the powdered one?
France. They have pink salt in France.
I don't remember. It could be. I was buying salts from many different places. There was one store they had them from all over the world, all different salts. So you can try black salts, and have you ever tried the black salt? It's very
I tried it.
in sulfur.
Tastes like egg.
Yeah, if you put it on avocado, it's like eating an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember,
They say
that
that
sounds good.
You say that one there is easier for the body to get rid of. I don't know.
Remember you have this purple one that you bought, I don't know, years ago?
Oh, the Korean one.
And
Yeah.
it's cooked or something? I don't know.
It goes through many cycles of high heat to make this stuff. It's very expensive. A little jar, a bit bigger than this glass, is like 70, 80 bucks.
So what do you do with it?
They say they use this as like a supplement, but I understand what they're doing. It's in a high GAN state, right? Because of all the heat process they put it through and the high heat. If you look it up, I can't remember the name of it. Go get it. And you can look it up and look at the process. It's very interesting. It's a lot of work to make this salt, but it goes back, many, many, many generations, I think, that they started making this. So I just decided, let me try it out. One of the members was asking me, we've got to have salt, maybe this salt. I go, you're addicted. It's, yeah, but then, looking at the way that was made, I go, this is interesting. Because for sure it's in a high order state, for sure. All the process they put it through. But it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And is it genuine when, if you buy it? Is it genuine has it gone through all that process? That's a whole other thing, right? So you have to make sure the website and what do you call them? The testimonials or whatever, people buying it, to make sure it's real stuff. So you don't spend all that money on normal salt. But it's a purplish color. Yeah. Can you turn the light on, please? It's all in Korean. I think the package with the English stuff, I threw it away. But I don't know if you'll be able to see this.
That one smells like eggs.
Yeah, this one's eggy smell too. That's the color of the salt.
Yeah.
My fingers are full of foam.
Detoxing.
I was wearing gloves, but they broke. So yeah, if you taste this, it's very strong in sulfur taste.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Eating eggs.
So it's a Korean salt, very expensive. I actually bought it to give to my mother.
It's a sulfur, right? It's
Trying different things, but it's an interesting process for sure. Very high heat, like forging metal.
Yeah, but I think it's best to stay away from salts. They're very addictive.
They're very addictive. Yes.
Stimulating. I believe they stimulate your adrenals.
More people will crave salt. Yeah, if your adrenals are running low, that'll be another reason why you're craving salts.
Yeah, but whose adrenals are not running low?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, like they say heroin's pretty addictive.
Yeah.
Cheese is actually more addictive than heroin. From this.
Wow.
Remember I was saying about that cheese I was making?
And that's vegan.
Yeah, they're very addicted. It creates the same things in the brain as heroin and morphine. Only stronger. Cheese was, when I go way back, that was the last thing I left. I dropped the meats very quickly, and then the fish, and then the cheese was the last thing. Took me a while to drop the cheese because I used to love cheese. So, but yeah,
So good.
If you make these vegan, like now these days, there's all kinds of vegan cheeses on the market made by nuts and seeds, all kinds. All kinds.
Some of them are worse than regular cheese.
Like I said, the way I was making it with the sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is also an aid for digestive to some degree. So it would be, if you let it sit on the counter, and do its work, it's magic overnight. it's easier to digest than not doing that with the seeds or nuts. And if you have it occasionally, once, twice a year, no big deal. But then I'm telling you, it's addictive. Just thinking about it.
But hey, Gino, like in your travels, have you ever used like boron, or like heard of people using literally borax laundry additive
Yeah.
as a boron supplementation? And it comes straight from Death Valley, so it's like essentially ancient seafloor. It's like that stuff is very interesting. I was supplementing on that, and because they say, what I heard was that it like raises testosterone. And have you ever heard of that or used it?
I've heard of it. I've never used it myself.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's borax. It costs like $7 a box, and it's like straight from Death Valley. They scrape it right off the surface of Death Valley. I've seen the mine, and it's very interesting. It's like it gives you dreams. It gives you explicit dreams, and I was just wondering if you had any opinion on that.
Well, there's many elements that people believe that are essential. Iodine, selenium,
B12.
iron,
B12.
elements.
Yeah. No.
The borax, which is boron, calcium, magnesium. There's groups focusing on one mineral. Oh, you got to have that mineral. We're deficient in that mineral.
That's what's missing.
I say we're deficient in nothing, right? We're not deficient in anything. We're deficient in anything that we put in our bodies. The more we put in our body, the more deficient we'll be of that substance, because the body can't make it anymore. So when you start taking in elements into the body, what happens is the body has to work with these elements. It's forced to work with them. So it's going to be forced to work with them. And what the body is capable of doing, let's say you're taking this borax, and the parathyroid is responsible for conversion, meaning that if the body is deficient in something, like let's say selenium, and for some reason the body's not making it, and you're taking in this excess boron, the body can convert the boron plasmatically into the selenium or anything else, and that's the way it operates. So
it can.
Yeah, the body.
Did you say can?
Can, yes.
It's froze.
Sorry, I'm losing you. I have a bad.
Yes, it can. It can.
I think
So, we this is the capabilities of the body. So we're taking in all kinds of different things, and the balance is thrown way out to lunch. So it's trying to work with whatever you're throwing into it, instead of clearing out and letting it work on only the fields. The fields can create anything you need, anything. That's the way I look at it. Deficiency comes through obstructions. And maybe even the obstructions of the minerals you're deficient in. So
yeah, I mean it's like it's kind of, it's in Professor Ehret's books. Like he's talking about protein and how you can make protein from fruit,
you can make protein.
And
you can make amino acids, which are the basis of protein, right?
Yeah.
Body self-sustained.
Yeah.
Body, yeah.
Yeah.
it's a whole new paradigm way of thinking from what we've been taught, and it's not an easy thing for people to embrace this new understanding. It's just not, because people are looking for instantaneous results. For example, they go and take a supplement of whatever and they start feeling benefits of it. It's because the body's being stimulated with these things. Has it corrected the problem? It may seem like the challenge has gone away, but the underlying seed and root causes,
Yeah.
that hasn't done anything for them.
When I say the body's
Yeah.
self-sustained, I don't mean the body's self-sustained right now when it's obstructed. It takes time for the body to de-obstruct, and then starts adapting and changing and becoming more and more and more self-sustained. Like if you're anemic, you're not going to be non-anemic in one day. It's going to be a process of de-obstructing, and then at some point the body feels much more energetic. Many things.
Hi, Hans.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. Yeah.
It's a whole. We have to
Like your bones.
start
Yeah.
asking different questions, and we will come up with different answers. For example, why can't the body produce this, and that? Well, there's reasons why it can't, right? It's because we're plugged up. Once you move out those obstructions, then the body can produce it. So people are deficient because mainly they're plugged up. That's it.
Yeah.
And some people, like, they have these, they're anemic or whatever, for example, and they're taking all the supplements and everything, and it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
And then what they say is, well, it's malabsorption. The body can't absorb it.
Why? Because you're obstructed. To start
Okay.
with. One reason.
Well, yeah, like I fully believe that, like, you have various paradigms, and you can get in a paradigm and make it work for you to an extent, right? And like, you're going to be compromised, but like, to move into that paradigm of like breatharianism, and
Breatharian
it,
will find you.
huh?
Breatharian will find you.
Yeah, but I mean, just to use the extreme case of breatharianism, right? Like to move towards MFS, and like a real MFS, when you're eating super light on your eating days, like that paradigm, like, it takes time. It takes time to get there, to fully utilize that paradigm. But in the meantime, your body is moving from one paradigm to the other. Your body's going to be, I mean, let's just say that your body's going to go through a period of like true deficiency, right? So like you're moving towards that paradigm, but before you're like truly cleaned out, so that you can synthesize, your body can synthesize all these things that it needs from a minimal amount of food, and from grape juice, and some leafy greens.
It's not from the juice and not from the food, John. You're not.
Yeah, it's plasma, but when you're eating, and you're
Let's look at it this way. First of all, anybody can start an MFS lifestyle. You can start in 1 or 2 days. Anybody can do that. But the whole concept of the master fasting lifestyle, as I've explained before, is we're looking for a way on a week-to-week basis to keep the body in a de-obstructive state. And everybody's going to be a little bit different, but I say if you're eating any more than 3-4 days a week, you're in an obstructive state. You know, it's going to vary. It's going to be varied for different people, and depending on what you eat, how obstructive the foods you eat. So let's say you're on 5 days of level 5, and you're eating only 2 days a week. In that state, there, your body can get rid of the 2 days of eating very easily with the 5 days of the fasting state. So you're continuously in that state of elimination, even with the 2 days of eating.
Mainly fasting all the time.
Right? And the body's working with its the fields. It's not working with the food. The food we're just eating because of the joy of it, the fun of it. We're not using the food for sustenance. That's the difference, John.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, I see your point though, John. It's a transitional period. Like, well, when we're on the massive fast, we're not going to breatharianism. We're moving towards more and more de-obstruction. And this can help you. It's very important as you go through that phase to de-obstruct. You know, it's not like any other fast in that it's all about releasing obstructions. And as you release more and more and more, you become more, you become more and more self-sustained, you know?
yeah. And then not even considering sustenance, but like the body's ability to heal.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you're in a partially obstructed state and you're starting to fast and you're starting to clean out, your body is going to benefit in terms of its ability to heal. Like as you're moving over, you're not just obstructed or non-obstructed, you're somewhere in between. So your body's ability to heal is going to improve a lot, right?
You're working on de-obstructing. You're working on it.
Yeah.
So that's your lifestyle. You're working on de-obstructing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because it's a healing, healing, and then forget about the idea of sustenance.
Yeah.
Just your body's ability to heal, right?
The whole
They're
sustenance
all
thing.
together, yeah. They come together.
I think it's a fairy tale from my experience. But anyway,
To become completely self-sustaining.
Yeah, I see. I agree. I just think that the human life is so miraculous that why couldn't that be the case where you can live that way? I mean, do you guys want to live a really long life? Like, is that part of like in the Taoist world, living a long life is everything. They do everything to become 100 years old or 110 years old. I mean, do you guys want to live that long?
It's not about that. It's definitely not a goal of mine. I don't care, but what I care about is to live the best life I can live.
Each day, like when you're living a clean type of lifestyle and taking care of yourself, eating clean, minimal, and so on and so forth. Even the science knows you're going to extend your life. Most people will have extended life than the average person. It's the way it is. It's because all the studies they've done with mice and rats.
Yeah.
Cut their diets and they extend their life by
calorie reduction.
30-40%. So we know it's about less, not more, right?
Yeah.
And everybody else is talking about we're deficient, we need more.
How about you,
okay,
John?
Which one is it?
Do you want to live is this a goal of yours?
Well, I understand what you guys are saying. It doesn't matter if you're on the program, you're on the program. You may live to be 100, you may live to be 90 or 80.
You may get hit by a truck.
You may get hit by a truck. It's like, I don't know, but I've been feeling awesome. That's all. I just feel awesome. So why would you not want to feel awesome?
Yeah, no, 1,008 years, that's a goal for me.
108, 1,000, 1,008. Yeah. Is that a multiple of 9? Wait a second. Is that a multiple of 9? It better be.
Yeah.
Hey man, everything's possible. Enjoy
Not
every
this
day.
society. I don't want to live in this society.
This society? Yeah.
Not at all.
But what are you going to do?
Well, there's MFS, it's okay.
What was that?
Well, there's MFS, it's okay.
Yeah, you can transport yourself, you know.
I've just been, going in.
I see.
Nothing here. There's nothing out there.
You know, we got to focus on seeing all the heads of these pharmaceutical companies and heads of the countries and so on and so forth being in a Nuremberg trial.
Yep.
That's what we got to see. They
I'll
all.
stay around and see that.
Sorry, say that again.
I'll live long enough to see that, I hope.
You know, that's where they got to be held accountable for all this caca.
Yeah, the odds of that are slim, though, based on history.
Well, we're in different times, my friend. We're in different times. We're in a different age.
But Gino, even if they get, even if you want a Nuremberg trial for them, at the end, what does that achieve?
That nothing.
Because at the end, the responsibility lies still with yourself.
Always.
What to do? Because look at, we had Nuremberg trials, and now we're in the same situation, coming into the same situation again. So remember, we learned from history that we don't learn from history.
Exactly.
And the other thing is, John, the art of healing comes from nature, not from humans.
Yes.
So it's only nature that can heal you, not the humans. So, but if humans can get themselves back within nature and have an open mind, that's when you can evolve as a human. Power intelligence that made us is the power intelligence that heals us. But what is the other thing that the group says? It's our environment dictates outcome. How can we, in a society that we live in right now, how can we be conducive to nature? Think about that. How much do we get bombarded every single day with false information, with falsehood, every single thing that comes at you? Your own life, in your work life, how much falsehood do you have to live? When you compare that to a state of, as you said, you feel fantastic when you fast. And then with that fantastic feeling, you have to go into a falsehood that is all around, wearing masks, pretending to be something that is not. That is the environment that we're in. I always said that. That is the hardest thing for me to reconciliate. How can I be in a natural state of nature, which you are when you fast? And how can that environment not be very influential to you?
Because there's not one single environment. There are many, many, many environments. So you can't just look across your environment and just say that it's utterly negative. See, I don't believe that. You create your environment.
That's correct.
A lot of people, you transcend it too.
But
you transcend your environment.
Think about the reality that you live in, John. How is that to you? How does that make you feel? The reality that you have, the physical reality that surrounds you, how does that make you feel?
What do you mean?
Well, you work, don't you? You talk to your neighbors. You associate around you. That reality, how conducive is that to you, to your fasting lifestyle?
You know, I think you are very negative, actually. You know?
Do you think so, do you?
Yeah, I do think that.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, we all.
I don't think, you know, whatever's nagging you, you know, you have a thorn in your side. I'm not like that.
Mm. What do you think the thorn is?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really know where you're coming from.
All right.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Because we all have different views. And that's why we can share the different views. And each of us can learn from each other. But that you and me have not the same reception, that is clear. I understand that too. But all I'm saying to you is, at the end of the day, the reality that we surrounds us is the reality that is conducive to us. And that builds us. And if you can't change that reality, and negative or not, I mean, if it's negative, what is positive then? In today's world, what is positive to you? John Werner, tell me that.
Hey, look, man. Look.
Yeah,
First
I do.
of all, what you're saying about environment dictates the outcome. In the Buddhist world, actually that's the opposite. You create your environment. Okay, so if you want to be subject to your environment in such a dismal kind of way, then go ahead.
Mm.
You know, John,
You know,
it is two sides. It's both.
We're
It's kind of hard to
working on our environment, right, John? Within,
It's kind of hard to
But-
separate.
and that's how we change the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
For yourself. Like
that's right. It's straight out of the Buddhist sutras.
Yeah, if you're
You
living
create you create your environment. You don't become a victim to your environment.
Absolutely.
you know, we're
It's
living.
basic.
We all know that. It's true. I'm sure everybody knows that. Yeah, it's a fine line. Yeah.
You know, we're living in a city, whatever. You know, you have a little piece of land, grow some plants.
Yeah.
I mean, there is so much. Not only that,
If
but
not,
also,
move somewhere where
you know, it's your attitude for sure. You know, if you wherever you go, you better be happy. Otherwise, stop complaining. It's that simple. Whatever you do in your life, in my opinion, be happy.
You create value. You create value. You're either creating value and you're part of the solution, or you think that the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You know, you have to, you know, I don't know why you guys are talking about environment dictates outcome, you know, because really that goes against my view of the Buddhist sutras. So, and I'm not saying that you know you're going to get you know kind of weak, and it does feel that way. It does feel like, you know, hopeless, and like that happens to everybody. But you have to create it, you know.
Yeah, like for example, you know, our lifestyle affects the way we feel, but we choose the lifestyle, right? We choose the lifestyle, so we are definitely have the power to choose it, right? And to kind of create it, right? But there is no question that the lifestyle that we choose does affect us. There's no question about that. And that's where we say environment dictates outcome. But it doesn't mean you are a victim. We don't want to fall into that nonsense. We are not victims. We are responsible for everything, for our own happiness. You can be, I said that before, you can put me in jail and I can still be happy. You know, why? And I see it as, you know, my connection, my spiritual connection is still there. Nobody can take it away from me. Even after they kill me, I still have it. So, in fact, it might make my life much easier. Because it's less distractions there, you know. If you are like confined in a like 4-wall room and the small space, and you have nothing else but the simple lifestyle, which would help you even connect
Yeah.
more.
The whole thing of environment dictates outcome is on the basic principles of the new understanding that in to have life be able to manifest itself, you need certain aspects of this, that, and the other thing. And once those are available in the environment, bang, creation happens and manifests a life form.
But it's not you need
And
it. Do you need it? It's like if you need it, it feels like you're a victim. It's more like you choose it.
yeah, you choose it. The creation is choosing to create that at that moment. That's why it changes the
It's
environment.
like the law,
So
the natural law.
if you're in a sick, miserable, in a state of misery, sickness, and it's because of your environment, which you created, right? So what do you have to do? You have to change that environment
Yeah.
within.
So there are laws that
Yeah,
are not
So you change the
necessarily-
environment, you're going to change the outcome. Environment dictates outcome. It's always your call.
Yeah, but your thought is the environment. Your thought,
The thoughts are,
it's inside your dome. It's your environment. It's your primary environment.
Another thing I also, it's very interesting. I do think about is in this spiritual journey is basically, yes, we do have the willpower to do things. Okay, we do have willpower to choose things. However, in my opinion, I say it's still important to be humble and ask God for guidance, because there are natural laws, and that's God's laws or natural laws or universal laws that are still there, and they are actually out of your control. These are laws, and we learn with life experiences that when we follow the laws that are given to us by source, God, nature, universe, whatever you want to call it, when we follow the law, we are happier. When we're working against the law, we are less happy. So it's a fine line. I mean, yes, you have the willpower. I mean, you have so much willpower that, as I said, I can be put in jail and I can still be happy. Nobody can take this away from me. That's a lot of willpower, okay? You can be given so much and feel like a victim. That's all your choice. But at the same time, as I said, yes, willpower, but at the same time, the humbleness to ask for guidance and to understand that it's not all up to you. There's still a higher power out there.
Well, it's like grace, like the idea of grace in the Christian world. It's like it's not by, it's in the Bible. It's not by acts that you achieve salvation. It's actually by God's grace.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's a difficult philosophical discussion, because in the Buddhist world, like it's more of like, if you have to be humble, but you're creating something. There's also an idea of protection that is self-created, and it comes from within, and it's not like a gift from God per se. But the idea of grace is actually difficult for me. I don't really quite understand it. It's something that's functioning outside of the realm of cause and effect, right? It's transcending cause and effect. So like a human being only has a certain power to evolve on its own, and then the rest of it comes from God's grace. So that's something that's really hard to have a discussion, to agree on.
yeah, as many opinions as there are people on that. So,
So John, so what, you're a Buddhist, you're a Taoist, you're a Christian, or what are you actually?
I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to answer that either. I don't know.
So
I
you
don't
really
know,
got
but
to
you know what, man? I feel, you know something? I want to get something in the open. I feel like you attack me, and
you.
and 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 I feel like you talk at me and not with me. So
Mm,
I don't really have a whole lot of time for that,
mm.
because and it might not be something you're aware of, but you talk at people and not with them. Okay.
Mm.
So, yeah. So like, it's a matter of style.
So you really, whatever I say, you would not find any agreement with anything I say, correct?
No, I agree, man. It's like, I agree with nature. Yeah, nature. I agree. You know?
Well, John, we're all here together to, you know, support each other and so on and so forth, and inspire each other. I know I've been. Many people have said I'm very negative, and you know, I'll give you an example. You know, repairing cars and so on and so forth. You always have to go into negative. What's wrong with it? So, and that's the way my mind works, to be able to find a solution for it. I look at the negative to find a solution. You know, we're all a little bit different in the way we use words and so on and so forth. I definitely don't have the gift of the gab, and people let me know that and so on and so forth. But, you know, we do the best we can, John. We're nobody's against anybody here, John. We're
No, I think Hans Peter is very intelligent, and I admire where he's coming from, but like, I get it. Like, I don't need it shoved down my throat. It's like, I get it, but I think he's got a good heart, and I want to listen to him, you know, but it's like, sometimes I just feel like I'm being attacked.
Mm.
yeah. Well, you know, okay, you're feeling that. I don't feel that. Is anybody else? You know, you know, we're all interpreting things in our minds certain ways for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but
No big deal. It's no big deal. I'm just like, you know, I just want to learn.
yeah, no, you know, it's good you shared that, how you're feeling. That's awesome. So, you know, we can all work around or whatever, and move on from here. But you know, we're all here, I believe, to help and support each other. That's what I'm here doing here, and that's the
Oh
only.
man, I really I really appreciate it. I appreciate Hans Peter. I try to learn from everybody, you know, like,
John, I mean, look, I'm sorry if I have rubbed you the wrong way, and it happens. But I mean, we live in a society where, well, I don't like every person, and if I have rubbed you the wrong way, the way where I'm coming from, John, is just that we have the mirror of truth. That's what I live by, and the mirror of truth is in front of myself. And when I see a lot of people that talk here in this group as well, they don't live by the mirror of truth. They live by something else. They live by pretend. And that's just me. You know, I'm European. I grew up in Europe. You know, I was born Austrian. So I have certain things in me that just tick that particular way. That's what it is. If that has rubbed you, then let me apologize that has rubbed you the wrong way. I don't try to pretend anything that I don't know, which a lot of people do. And I can admit to my shortcomings as well, but that's not something that I spread all over everybody else like people do. They spread their own wrongdoing over everybody else. I don't do that. So there's certain things that we have to accept if you socialize. Simple as that. And if you can't, as I said, it's a choice at the end. If you want to socialize in that group or if you're not, that's fine. But if you're in an open forum like that, then I have to, and I respect everything that everybody else says. As simple as that. And if that is your way, then that's fine. I mean, I can live with that. I don't have a problem with that either. Simple as that. So from that point, it's just what I try to contribute is my way of looking at it, my reality that I see, and I'm happy that you're looking at it from a different way and you see it in different things. And as I said, if I have rubbed you the wrong way, then hey, mate, that's, you know, like, but I can't, as you, John, you cannot change yourself. You can only be yourself. That's what I try to do. And that's what I accept. That I actually not only respect, I accept that from every other person. They are the way they are. And if I don't like it, I'll turn off and go. That's as simple as that. So from that point, I don't try to make any excuses or anything, but I think we have to learn to respect each other. And hey, bring the criticism. I have no problems with that. That is something that, hey, that's fine. That's like not a, and honestly, that doesn't bother me. We just have to learn to accept each other the way we are. And if you learn something from some other person, good. If not, fine. There's nothing wrong with that either. As simple as that. And as I said, I mean, for me, it's only my own journey through fasting in the world of finding a way to health has only pointed me always and straight back to nature. And I see people that go into all different directions, and I think, why are you going that direction? But it's their choice, mate. Hey, if they think they have to go and do this and have to supplement themselves or whatever they have, that's fine. I just express myself that way, and you know, I can't change. That's just me. Simple as that. Hope you can understand that.
I don't understand much of what you say, but I appreciate you, and I think you're an intelligent person, you know. I mean, it's about nature. Yeah, it's about nature. Everybody's trying to get back to nature. It's like we don't need to belabor the obvious. It's like everybody is, you know.
I don't know about everybody.
Well,
Well,
everybody here anyway.
well, that's the environment, and that's what Hans is referring to. That's the environment we're living in today.
You know, there must be
Yeah,
a,
it sucks.
Yes.
there has to be, you know, I mean, it's nice to discuss, you know, a way, maybe an alternative way to do things together, you know. Each one has their own opinion about it. There, you know, I'm sure there is a pathway to a better life, and maybe some of us are not living it, and we are completely responsible for that. Completely responsible for that. So that we take responsibility for choosing whatever our lifestyle, wherever we are. And I guess it's good to share tips with each other because we help each other become more and more aware. You know, Hans Peter refers to the natives, and there's of course a lot to learn from them because they have been living close to nature more than us, you know, and there's a lot to learn from them, I'm sure. The simple lifestyle. Nobody's better than anyone. I don't think the natives are better than us, you know. We're all equal in the eyes of God, really. At the end of the day, we have our own journey. And we are here learning from each other, you know, like even from the natives, and I'm sure they're learning from us. Maybe they're learning they don't want to be like us. What do you think, Tatiana?
I just want to say I appreciate you both very much and everyone here. I've been listening to a lot of the calls, even the ones that I haven't been on, and I really Hans, Peter, all the books you recommend and the things you've noted about the natives, I really appreciate. I also really love Aboriginal, studying them, have always. So I just want to say I really appreciate what you bring, what everyone brings. I think that's the beauty of everyone of us being in these separate forms of everyone offers a different perspective. And I think we need to move to where we're okay to with other people having a unique perspective because they're different, and so they're like a different perspective of the universe, is different perspective of itself, and that's the beauty of it, and we can appreciate both. And I also feel it. I mean, I went out to the grocery store and felt all the mass and the energy, and I came back totally just bummed. It bums you out, that energy, but you go back in, come lay on the grass. It helps. And I also really went down deep into the rabbit hole of what's going on, and I mean, I'm still keeping an eye on it. But then I also realized that God also created all this. God created Mr. Gates. God created all of these things.
Not so sure about that one.
I believe it. I mean, if you read the Bible, like God created Lucifer, right? I mean, what do you really think something exists that God didn't create?
No.
God created it all for the experience of it. So there's something we had to experience here.
Yeah.
That's kind of how just to offer my little
I can't believe that God created evil.
Sorry?
I have a hard time believing that God created evil.
Of course he did.
Mr. Gates is the personification of evil. And if that's the creation of God, that's the God I want to have.
He's just the visible part of it. It's much bigger.
Yeah, manifestation of a little bit of evil, and also there is so much to Buddhism as well, I really appreciate what John is sharing, the positivity of looking at life as well, to see like you are really responsible for your happiness, and I think there is emphasis on that in Buddhism. So everybody, like everything that is being shared is absolutely beautiful and valuable. Let's just not get too stuck, I think, at something, and like sometimes with for example with the master fast, we run the group and there are thousands of people there and so many different opinions. It really takes a lot out of you.
I know you guys are so good at responding on all those things.
No, I mean, I'm
Yeah, where you can. Yeah.
And it's pretty hard. Even it's not only the sometimes you get the debate of the meat eaters, but then you have the vegans and even the raw vegans and even the ones who are even maybe worse, like with their opinions and like rudeness sometimes, and like you're thinking, okay, it's not fun.
I feel like we're beyond arguing about like how someone wants to eat. Like, look at what's going. There's way, things going on.
I get stuck at times myself, and I'm like, I shouldn't be like I don't want to be like that, Yeah. So you're learning. We're learning a lot every day and everything, in our experiences. Yeah. What did you want to say? Sorry.
I don't know. I'm just checking my mother.
I was also thinking how after the Nuremberg trials, all these revolutions, it was always moving from like one dictator to another less obvious dictator, because people want to move their responsibility and their power to someone else, and by giving them their responsibility, give them the power. So if goodness is going to prevail, it has to be with people taking responsibility. This is not electing a better leader. No, it's never going to work. It's never going to work.
Oh, you can't fix the system with the system by staying in the system.
This here is how we fix it. This here.
Yeah, it's got to be completely
like-minded people,
torn apart and changed. Start over.
It was never designed. It was designed to do exactly what it's done hundreds of years ago. As soon as money became into being.
But another thing, people might be, in the mask, I don't know, showering and sanitizer, but they could be having a beautiful time with their family right now. If they're loving all those things, it's like that goodness in the human heart that's still there, that's there, it prevails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despite all these forces trying to grab it, that's what they want, because it's so beautiful.
I'll give you another thing about the indigenous. And I said, I look at our ancestors. I look at my ancestors. And I see that indigenous people have lived for tens of thousands of years, and they were in how should I say, adapted very well to their environment and lived in that environment. And what that gave them was, there was no need to evolve further. Think about that. They didn't evolve further because they were in harmony with their environment.
You're happy where they are.
And when you're in harmony with your environment, you have no need to evolve. That's where you're at, because you're in balance of it. I was just saying, look at our environment today. I know that's a negative statement, but that's what it is. I'm just saying, where do we involve? What involvement will we have further?
But isn't it also nice to, is it also, I feel, a positive thing to keep evolving and changing and improving? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily the way we do it, because that's like not improving. Like it looks improving to other people.
Look, evolvement has always happened and always will happen. There's no, you can't stop it, but it depends to the amount of what you want to do. And when you look, people that have done that for tens of thousands of years and have not made the decision to progress in an evolvement where, in a technical and in scientific evolvement that we have gone through and have experienced. That's all I'm saying. Just that comparison within yourself is something to think about too.
Yeah. We definitely have complicated it, They kept it simple.
Yeah.
And there is beauty in simplicity, and less is more.
And I think when you appreciate and when you make certain things sacred that they did and that they had, just as a comparison. Because otherwise, you're in the argument with, what does Bill Gates want to try to achieve? What does Klaus Schwab with the World Economic Forum try to achieve? What do all these technocrats try to achieve?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's up to you. It's up. But that's what we're forced, and that's what we see at.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys see as individuals? What do you see as solutions? Like everybody. I'm a little bit confused sometimes, but I think I will get along with anything. I think I can be happy anywhere, or I really don't feel like I need to do so much to be like in that aspect to become a happier person, because I feel there's so much for me to work on myself as an individual that would keep me busy for the rest of my life maybe. So I feel like I can be happy anywhere, or with this system or with the new system, or with no system at all. I know it's this, I guess, it's not, it's very general thing to say. So, but what about everybody else? Like, what do you feel would make you a happier person? Well, what would you like to see?
Of course.
What would you like to see, Gina? I asked him this question many times.
He wants a chocolate ice cream sundae.
Yeah, Jim doesn't have an answer.
You can have it.
Gary.
You pick out.
Pick out.
No, but the thing is, it's like this. It's like in Christianity, you have original sin, right? And then in the Buddhist terms, you in my world, what you have is, it's called the realm of fundamental darkness, right? So it's like, that's a given. It's a given. It's primary that we live in a realm of fundamental darkness, but the paradox is that that's what you need to evolve.
Was it?
Yeah, that's Christianity, right? Islam.
Well, that's Buddhism too.
Yeah. Well, they're all the same.
You need that. So like, it's a given that this world is just utterly fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's utterly fucked up. That's your starting point. So like, why belabor it? You know?
Yeah. So I didn't know Buddhism is similar. It is similar in that way, right?
Yeah, it's the realm of fundamental darkness.
Amazing.
So like, we're born into that world.
That's just an excuse for human failings.
Well, you could say that.
No, we have to be responsible.
Why would a creator create darkness? I can't believe that. I can't believe it. I can't believe
So light could be recognized.
Struggle for light.
Yeah. So light can be recognized. That's the point.
Yes.
That's the paradox of it. That's the paradox.
Only God knows. Why we created.
Having fun.
It's, you know, but it's actually a beautiful thing, because you can still become enlightened and happy given that, and transcend that. That's kind of like, that's what I would like to believe. I'm not saying I always believe that 100%,
It's faith.
but you know, it's like the indigenous, the shamanic people.
I've struggled with religion all my life.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the shamanic indigenous way of looking at things. You know, you understand the mind, and you use plants, you use magical plants, you use ceremony, you use ritual, and that's where healing and you know, that's how you evolve, and that's how people heal.
Satisfied with being in balance with nature. Period.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's the ultimate thing, but we're so far away from that we.
But all the rest of everything was created to enable that way of life that left from where we came from. This is all just a freaking construct. This is a construct by man to enable that. That's the way I see it. I don't know the words I'm trying to say. Definitely a construct that man has created to enable him to continue
self-destruct
away from nature. To justify justify it.
No, just because we say God created everything, it doesn't mean that we're not responsible.
He created man with free will.
No, you're missing my point. You're totally missing my point. Everything that's going on today is just a human construct.
I see where you're coming from, Steve. He created man with free will. I don't think he created evil. He created man with free will, and there's where the evil came from.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. We'll figure it out one day.
No, you can't figure it out.
When we jump the fence.
To say that the supreme being that created this, I don't want to know that supreme being. Period.
Didn't Buddha say, "Send me to hell because that's where the work needs to be done"? Was it Buddha?
Yeah, Well, I don't like that's what I was saying a month or two ago. Like at first it was okay to go to the mountain to become enlightened and live in solitude, but now in Buddhism, like we're in an era where you're supposed to be in the trenches, you know, alleviating suffering and like I don't know, spreading the gospel, essentially the Buddhist gospel. It's like you can't become enlightened out on the mountaintop anymore because like it's too far gone. You know, we have like, you know, we have weapons and noise and just like it's too far gone. So like I don't know, you know, but yeah,
Human construct, though.
huh?
It's still a man-made construct. All religion is.
Yeah.
See, I was brought up a Roman Catholic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in my whole upbringing, until I resigned out of the church when I was 22,
13.
the church has never, the man-made church has never brought any solution to me in any way, form or shape.
Brought any solution to man.
It was always a demand that I had to do this or had to do that.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all ever happened. I never understood what kneeling down on my knees as a little kid had to do by understanding God. It's just little things that come, and not only that, because it was never explained either. Think about my own religion. We went to religious classes, and she was talking in a way that I couldn't understand. And coming back to, that we don't understand each other sometimes because we have different vibes, different energies and all this and all that. I understand that too. And growing up in Europe and seeing that even Europe was a Catholic whole thing, and then it split into Protestants and into Anglicans and into all different labels and all different things. I questioned it. I said, why? Shouldn't there be just one religion? No, I can't look at it that way. But that had nothing to do with religion. That had more to do with people not agreeing with what other people said and what other people want to do. That's how splits came. That's really what it is. They even were saying that the Protestant movement was linked to the discovery of the Americans in the 14th century or the 15th century, because when they came back and saying, hang on, there were people, but according to the Bible, there were not supposed to be people in America. And then there were. And then the French said, well, hang on, we're not quite happy about that. And so on and so on. But with all the religion, and I can understand, think about it, and that's a question I actually have. We have Buddhism, we have all this different religion. Where did they originate? They're all originated in different parts of the world. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why did they originate in different parts of the world?
Well, in the Jewish tradition, religion begins with the idea of appreciation. So in ancient times, you know, somebody felt appreciative and they started a religion, you know, but it's a very positive impulse. And then it just got out of hand and people started fighting. There were power struggles, and there you have it. You know, splinter groups, and it just all got out of hand. But it started with a positive idea, you know.
Well, it wasn't it? I mean, there was enlightenment of people by the Spirit, by God, and then they bringing down the Word, and then practicing the Word that was brought through the Spirit coming from God.
It's the same message.
That's the way that I know that things in Christianity happen.
Yeah, but you can look at Moses in the burning bush. He had a revelation. You can look at that as a shamanic as a shamanic incident. He saw a burning bush and it started talking to him, and it gave him 10 laws. And then he made he hammered it into stone. It's like you could see that as a shamanic thing.
Sounds like a mushroom trip.
Yeah.
Maybe they were burning mushrooms. But I mean, okay, so John, how does that then come? So, but I mean, Moses is Christianity, you know what I mean? Like it's a Christian religion, all right? Now, how does that compare to, for you, into Buddhism? Like, how do you find Buddhism and Taoism? How did they originate? Can you enlighten us on that? I mean, just.
Well, there are many different ways of looking at that. Some people think it's by prophecy and revelation, and other aspects of it are more shamanic. And if you look at the history of Japan, and it's like the animist Japan before Buddhism, the Buddhism came, it was doctrinal, and so the animist part of Japan absorbed that, and it's complicated, man.
I have to agree, it is complicated. But what I always try to do is simplify for myself, and with all the religion that we have, I think they all come from the same source, but come as different seeds. And the seeds are planted in different cultures, and within that culture, the seed sprouts in a different way. But the source, I think, in a way, is all the same that they come from. But it's like a melon seed grows as a melon, and the pumpkin seed grows as a pumpkin. What can I do? And that's the same in, I don't know. That's why I see all the different, particularly the main 4 or 5 main religions that are around the world. I see them as different seeds falling into different areas, and have sprouted. And I agree, because once the source came to men, and men started to interpret the word, that's when differentiation happened too. That's when different layout, like people had different, like we have different beliefs, different ways of looking at it. And then all hell breaks loose, because which opinion is correct and which is not correct? I don't know. I've never made the claim to understand religion, but nobody ever has actually have been able to explain it. And I've asked many, many times, and I've never got answers, because everybody tries to protect their own religion, that the belief that they have, more than anything else. And isn't it that, like like, look at how, I know Europe, but how many religious worlds have broken out because of different beliefs, Like, I don't know. That to me, I don't think that was the word that had to be really practiced, but that's what we did as humans. And I think we evolved out of that too. And that's why I'm with you there too, John, with the shamanic way of looking at it.
I feel it's very important for us to feel for the people who are practicing different religions, not the ones who don't practice. I'm sorry, the ones who don't practice should not say, I am this, I am that. They're not. They don't practice, they don't care about it, they cannot care less about it, actually. Sometimes they're against their own, whatever they were brought up, I believe it's very important for us to, a positive thing to do for humanity is to respect people who are praying a certain way, rather than telling them, oh, you're worshiping the devil. Like, what is this? I'm sorry. I am sorry, but that is a very negative statement. Or your messenger is a pedophile. I mean, what is this? It is really, really negative. And you hear that in spiritual groups who are into detoxing and cleansing and fasting. This has nothing to do with peace, balance, and correct conduct, or that the religions are the cause of war. No, I am sorry, they're not. When you are spiritual, when you're connected, you're a good person, you're positive, you're peaceful. When you're not, they are not the cause of war. I'm sorry. These are agendas by people who want to take over, and I am sorry. This should not be what brings humanity together. About connecting to God through your own religion. I am sure your religion is not gonna tell you to kill people. In fact, everything so much beauty I learned from different, religions about taking care of your neighbor and feeding the poor and just all the good stuff and your health. I mean, I am sure taking pills is a sin. But back then there were no pills, so we are responsible. Taking pills, medicine, or eating junk food, that's all our responsibility. And, this can be seen as a sin. Anything that is, that is an abuse, any form of abuse, abusing ourselves or other people is negative, is, in the Indian religion, there is karma. But karma is nothing new. It's in every religion. When you do bad, you're gonna pay the price. You can't get away being being bad all your life. You won't. This is a law of nature. It doesn't work like that. You're gonna collect karma and you're gonna pay the price at some point. So I believe, like we all have the same, all the religions have the same message, and let's support the people who are practicing the religions, and let's love them and show them that they are not threatened, by other religions. It shouldn't be like that, or people or atheists,
Fortunately, it's been like that from forever.
Sorry?
Unfortunately, the world's been like that forever.
Yeah, well, it's time to change.
There's never been peace among the religions.
In every religion, it is mentioned that there's so much darkness all around us, and it's going to be until the end of life.
Absolutely.
And so let's be the change that we want to see instead of focusing on the darkness, right? Yeah. So let's be the change. I believe it's about time. The world needs people who make a change, and let's just start in our own freaking homes, My goodness gracious, different opinions. I was told a few weeks ago that I need to believe that Jesus is God. Now, I love Jesus and I believe in Jesus. I don't believe Jesus is God. Let's leave it there, because everything else we agree on. So let's focus on the beauty and God, rather than specifics of the religions, because the message is the same. We are all loving people, thank God for having these beautiful Christians around me, who, yes, maybe they think that I should think Jesus is God, but everything else is the same. We believe exactly the same things. We believe the same things. I mean, it's amazing how so much similarities in the way we think. The only difference is that Jesus, we believe is not God. They believe is God. Okay, no big deal. And I thank God I was so calm about it. The other person was not so calm. I was calmer. So I appreciated my, that I didn't react or I didn't get upset at all. But it was interesting to see that, and that Canada is
like the
country, I mean, every country is God's country. Okay, so please, I don't want to say this is Christian or this is a Muslim country, or you need to practice in your own country. Don't come here and practice. I was told that, by the way.
Really?
I was told, yeah. Well, I'm not really like that, but I was told that leave your religion where you come from. No, I love my religion. It's my spiritual journey. I'm not going to leave it where I came from. I came here. People brought me, Christians brought me here. They need to respect me. You know, if Canada is a Christian country, then Christians brought Muslims here. Why do you bring Muslims here? Huh? To pay taxes? No, I'm sorry. We have to respect each other. You know?
Here's the thing. It's like, you know, Hans Peter and I actually do see eye to eye, because when the thing about religion that a lot of people don't understand is that originally the priest, so you have the archetype as of the priest. So where did that archetype come from? The priest is actually a healer. So if you go back far enough in whatever tradition it is, if it's Islam or if it's Christianity or Buddhism, the idea of the priest is a healer, and that idea is shamanic. So a real healer was a shaman who understood nature. They understood herbs. They understood living with the land in harmony, and they kept the village pure and healthy, because they were able to marshal marshal nature and utilize their environment in a way that they could heal people, right? So then organized religion came around, where you had codes, and it was like, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then the priests who were shamans, actually, they were forced essentially to adopt all of that bullshit that came later. To, you know, in order to survive, they had to compromise, and little by little they stopped being healers, right? And they took on, you know, the doctrinal stuff, you know, thou shalt do this and thou shalt do that. So that's how I see it. And like Hans Peter was asking me if I was a Buddhist, a Taoist, or a Christian. And the thing is, it's like, that's how I see it, you know. It started out in a shamanic world. Every culture, it doesn't matter if you're from Holland or Australia or Canada, it was all shamanic back then, or the Middle East. It doesn't matter.
And that's the movement away from nature.
Yeah. It's like a philosophical thing. We moved away from nature because we thought it was, you know, hurting us or something, or that it wasn't pure.
I agree 100% that, and that's why I called it, as I said, from a simplicity point of view, that seed come from source, from God, from creator, whatever. And the seeds were there, and people were able to interpret the seed in a natural way. Shamanic shamans have taken on the responsibility, and that they did that locally with people that they were with. And it's then, I think, just the growth of civilization, different beliefs, different, as you said, codified it. I like that. When the codification came, that we need to master this, we can do it better than the word itself. And from there, I think even evil arrives out of that. Because I think at the beginning, everything was good. Everything was
Pure.
right. And that's the way that we've chosen as humans And as you can see in all the different parts of the world, how people have, even in Buddhism, in Taoism, in Hinduism, all these different movements out of that into all different directions. Look at Christianity, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, the 7-day Adventists, all these different ways of interpreting and codifying it in a different way. But I do think that, yeah, it all started in a natural way, in connection with nature, and the distancing of that is something that, yeah, we have to, you know, we have to live with, or we live by now anyway.
Yeah, we have to live with it. And the thing is that whether you like it or not, that's how it is now. And you can't be bitter about it. So like part of my problem here on the forum is that I feel like there's a tremendous amount of bitterness, and I understand it, but like eventually you have to like get past it. And you know,
That means you got to accept the unacceptable. No, I don't accept.
no, it's
Oh, that's what you're
no,
saying.
but you have to, you don't have to accept it, but you have to transcend it.
No,
You
you
have
don't
to
have to get,
transcend
no, I don't believe you have to transcend it. You have to be the change you want to see. That's not
Yeah, but
transcending.
what,
That's not accepting. That is being the change. It all goes back to within.
Yeah, it's interesting.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant by transcending. You have to, you know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to keep evolving despite what's going on.
Yeah, you shouldn't make it let it make you angry, right?
Yeah, because then you just have,
That's
you
the human
know,
emotion. That's going to happen.
huh?
The anger is just a human emotion, and that is going to happen because there's so much inequality here and so much bullshit going on.
And maybe, John,
acknowledge that is just crazy.
It doesn't mean that you're naive or that you're ignorant or that you're just accepting things. But it's something that you just have to like, you have to run with it. You know, you have to get past it, because otherwise it's just going to eat at you for the rest of your life. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Anger.
yeah, John, I think you're 100% right. And yeah, maybe I can explain myself a little bit different than, because look, as I said to you just before, or I said about religion, I've resigned out of it because I really was fed up with being told not the truth, being told something that I said, but explain that to me, please. You know, even when I handed in my resignation and the minister rang me, and I talked to him and I said, I think you're all hypocrites. I said that to him, and I was only 22 years old. And I said, look, you're hypocrites because you're telling one thing, but you're doing a complete other thing on the other side. And he said, same, you know, oh, you have to get past that. I said, well, but hang on, how can I get past that? What do we actually evolve into as a thing? And nobody can give me the answers has given me the answers on that, in a way. All I see our society, and in all, not only in religious forms, but in all different types of scenarios, we get misled all the time. All the time we get misled. And that's evolving. And then I questioned myself and said, hang on, when was it last time that we did not lie to each other, when was it, where's this point of in humanity where we were more not lying to each other and just not trying to evolve into something because we made up some rules and the rules then didn't really fit, and so on and so on. And that's why all my thing comes back. And as you said yourself, John, the shamans had the true power of healing. And from there it evolves into something that we have now today. And I say, yeah, okay, I have to go with it now. Because I had the same discussions here with my family. And we had, what conclusion can we come to? Either you say, okay, I'll just take it as it is, or I question myself and find an answer that is not mainstream, that is not what's the next thing to do? You know, what is this next vaccination that we have to cope with, and so on and so on. In all this, and that's why, yeah, that's when I probably sound very negative in that way, because I just can't, I'm fed up because I grew up that way and I've been told that I have to obey any person with a white coat. I have to basically obey to. Any politician that says a word, I have to just take it for granted. And that, I think that lie, or that became a lie to me, because they couldn't substantiate. And as I said, since the 1970s, when I questioned that, things have not gone better. Things evolved. Oh, 100%, they evolved, definitely. Because the Club of Rome said in the 1970s and 60s that we got to change our whole thing, and we never have. Yes, we have, but not to the better for the environment or for all this, only to the worse. That's all I see, and I'm not even criticizing it. I just see it as a fact. And then I have to just obey to it, and then I say, no, I don't obey to that no more. That's all I'm saying. And then if I don't make negative comments, then they're actually not negative. I just try to be as realistic as possible, which a lot of times comes, or people take it as a negative. But it's not because of me being negative. It's just, man, I get dished up so many lies, and I'm sure you fed up with all the bullshit that comes
but
as well.
Hans, Peter, the darkness has always been around.
Yeah,
It's not,
absolutely.
and I really don't know if it will ever go away. Because, you mentioned that we are misled. We have been misled since we were kids. Yes, but it's our responsibility. And maybe the journey is supposed to be more, I think when you experience more darkness than ever before, like maybe 100 or 200 or more years ago, we maybe are experiencing more darkness, but this will only come with more reward as we evolve, or not evolve and no reward, more falls, I guess. With the most successful people have fallen the most or have failed the most, so it's just more experiences to make us stronger if we want to become stronger. So yeah, we are misled, but what's the big deal? As long as we are true to ourselves, we will always see the light. We will always see the light.
Correct. And I think, see, for me, the leading to the, as I said, I don't know, look, if that we had to evolve and that we evolved into a technocracy that we're in, that's okay. It's just when you then start to fast and when you start to clear yourself, things become so more obvious to you how misled we are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So much more obvious, because within inside yourself, you're creating that environment that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's inside, and it becomes so much more obvious that how our involvement as a society is misleading to what you're experiencing personally inside. That's the way I feel. But I feel when I fast and when I live as clean as possible life, that enlightenment that comes there compared to evolvement of our society, it's just a discrepancy. Does anybody feel that as well or not?
No, but there's the gap gets wider and wider, but you also have more strength and more wisdom to deal with it. So,
from inside.
Yeah, your life has more strength to deal with what's going on, and that's the beauty of it. And that's where you have to be. You have to live in that little weird space.
Yeah, totally.
To keep moving on.
That's the light. And I don't know if it's important for me to move somewhere or live by, like, yeah, to move somewhere into a community that lives according to, God's laws. Because, I feel wherever you go, there will be challenges, because darkness is kind of gonna be there, maybe less darkness, I don't know. But I feel it's before thinking of a community, being in an environment where many people are, everybody is like-minded in a way, and of living in the environment, living as in harmony with the environment as much as possible. I don't know if I need to do that to be happier. I feel I have so much to do at home that I don't care so much about what's happening outside. I really almost don't care about what's happening outside. I feel, yes, it's my responsibility to,
I agree, Rana, with what you're saying, because look, it's the space within, it's the light within that lights you, that basically drives you. And I agree, because even in your own little world that you're in is where you can thrive and you can prosper for yourself. The evolving that I say is just when you see that we as humanity steering towards destruction, and you're part of it. And all I'm saying to you, if you can choose an environment that is more conducive, where you have other people bringing it straight forward from a solution point of view, being more self-reliant and self-sufficient, which we as a society these days, like where does our food come from? You know what I mean? Where does our clothing come from? We're not self-reliant, nor are we self-sufficient, because we're not doing it like as a local community. That's all I'm saying. That's more my, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we have to go and live back like the Aboriginals did 250 years ago. I'm not saying that at all. Yeah. But I'm saying we need to find a measure stick that I say, as I said, self-reliance and self-sufficiency. That, and I can give you just a very quick example, because I'm dealing with China, and my US customers now all are more or less forced to produce their stuff that I do for them back home. Do you know what I mean? Now, whatever consequences that has, but it's just saying something that as a society we should be, and I actually agree with that. We shouldn't manufacture everything somewhere else. We should manufacture it where you are. Do you know what I mean? And that includes the whole lot, you know what I mean? Like food, clothing, everything else yourself. All I'm saying, that's more the way I look at it. And but I don't see us evolving into that as a society. That's all I'm saying. But the light is within and the environment is within. And that's what, and you can prosper everywhere. As you said, like, yeah, okay, you're in prison, you can still prosper there. But it is made very, very hard by what then is surrounding you. You know what I mean? Because, as it is, and that's all I'm saying. Because we have to look for solution, and solutions have to come. You have to be the solution first to find a solution within yourself, and then you have to learn to practice that. You know.
I'm a big fan of becoming self-sustained. And and I feel there's so much that I can do right here, right now, without having to, to even, regardless of what's happening outside, basically.
Yeah.
For now,
I mean,
life, the beauty is that things are always changing, and yet my mind changes too. So, but for now, I feel like, there's a lot that I can do right here, right now, and I'm just gonna be happy with that for now. And as life goes on, maybe things will evolve as well, and my way of seeing things will change.
All right, we've gone 3 hours. Time to
3 hours.
wrap it up.
Wow.
We'll do a little meditation if anybody wants to stick around.
Thank you, John.
See you, John.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, John.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Get comfortable in your chair or whatever you are. Close your eyes. Focus on the breath. Cycle the breath up the spine, top of the head, on the in-breath, down the front of the body, back around to the tailbone on the out-breath. With each breath, we sink deeper and deeper into more relaxation. Let's bring the focus to the area below the belly button. Focusing on the breath. And a mini tornado spinning counterclockwise in that area, the tip touching the body. Move the focus down to the genitals. Testes for men, ovaries for women. Focusing on the mini tornado, spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. With each breath, the tornado spins faster and faster. We sink deeper into more and more relaxation. Let's move the focus to the area between the anus and genitals. Tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. Let's move the focus to the tip of the tailbone. Tip, tailbone. Have the tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. Bringing balance to that area. Let's move the focus up the spine to the in between the kidneys, right just below the rib cage area. With each breath, the tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. Any and all stiffness is just melting away. The body's getting more into a rested state as we focus on the breath and the mini tornado spinning faster and faster. We move the focus up the spine to between the shoulder blades. Focusing on the mini tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. Feel all the tension melt away in the spine, elongating itself. Smooth the focus up the spine to top of the spinal cord where it meets the skull. Focusing on the breath. Mini tornadoes spinning faster and faster. As we move the focus to the top of the head, 1,000-point junction. With each breath, the tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. Let's move the focus to the third eye. With each breath, the tornado spinning faster and faster. Third eye, where we see the mirror of truth. Just bring the focus down to the throat area, thyroid, our voice, each breath, tornado spinning faster and faster. Resetting, bringing balance to that area. Just bring the focus down to the heart. With each breath, tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. move the focus down to solar plexus. With each breath, the tornado spins faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. Patience, persistent consistency creates the environment you choose. Tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. Let's focus on cycling the breath. From the inhale up the spine to the top of the head. Exhale down the front of the body, back to the tailbone. Repeat that a few cycles on your own. When you're ready, start wiggling your toes, your hands, your neck. You can open your eyes.
And we're back.
And we're back. All right, folks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here.
We'll see you again. Ciao, ciao.
Night time.